And sir, oh dear, how you gonna be talking about the Manosphere? Well, hell, just come on in. I'm going to show you how I'm gonna do it. But don't just skip this video. This may help you if you watch to the end. We're gonna break down and ask the question and answer it. Does the Manosphere hate men? And from what we know, if you know the Manosphere, you know your Andrew Tates, you know your Rollo Tomasis, you know your Kevin Samuels. If you're in said Black Manosphere, you know your BGS Itmores, you know your Coach Greg Adams, you know all of these groups and people that's made a lot of money giving you the daily problem, but never have they helped you with said solution. Let's see what good brother has to say.
The Manosphere has more in common with misandry than it does misogyny. I was thinking about this for the first time the other day. I'll say that one more time, by the way. The modern narrative around the Manosphere, right? The narrative the Manosphere itself espouses. It has more consistency in its message with misandry than it does with misogyny. The Manosphere is misandrist and misogynist in its disposition. Men who hate men use misogyny, right? The OnlyFans agencies, the cam girl operations, the exploitative content farms as the delivery mechanism. All of these things attack men. Can you honestly say that all the aforementioned things have quantifiably made your life better or worse? The answer is no. The financial extraction runs the other direction. You can think of the women in these operations as the inputs and the men consuming the content as the product. And the entire ecosystem only works if the men consuming it never learn to control themselves. That's right, the Manosphere actually preys on individuals who already have negligible control over their impulses.
First point, I agree. Do you? The Manosphere, the dudes that make money, the cash out be hitting. The channels is huge. Kevin Samuels was the best example. Women went there just to shine a little bit.
Hello.
If you know anything about a woman, about her salt, she wants some attention. She don't give a damn if it's negative or positive. She got what she wanted. Ta-da, girl, I told him. She's walking away with that and ain't gonna think nothing else about it.
But what the hell, boy?
Those men in the comment section have an opportunity with self-control. They have an opportunity with lust. And I'm here to tell you, because I used to frequent around the Manosphere in the glory days when it made a little bit of sense. Those men are mostly upset because they can't get the woman that they truly want.
2 hours later.
Most men in the Manosphere, especially the ones that call themselves high value men, make a nice salary, but yet and still they cannot attract the woman they want off the strength.
And his name is...
Majority of the men in the Manosphere cannot handle the fact, no, not a strong woman, but a woman that can pay her own damn bills, that really don't need you, and she's with Hakeem Chad, who is a white guy that comes up to the damn party. He got a 6-pack of 90 light. He got one joint.
Wait a minute.
He lights up the joint, pass it around, but everybody know all 6 of them natty lights is for him. He ain't got no damn job that's worth talking about, but guess what? He pulled the hottest chick in the crowd. That's what the Manosphere really hates.
Hi.
They hates the fact that we live in a time right now, not the 50s, not the 60s, where your job and your stability and being able to provide a home gets you a high quality, beautiful woman. Now it's off what makes her kitty got. That is her first choice.
The entire ecosystem only works if the men consuming it never learn to control themselves. That's right, the Manosphere actually preys on individuals who already have negligible control over their impulses. And they take advantage of your very propensity to procreate by diluting the online media and landscape with adult material, pornography, horrible stuff. You know, once you see this inversion, the figures in this space stop looking like the role models that they are and start looking like the self-consuming narcissists that they are. And their profitable target becomes abundantly clear, which sadly is us, is men. Look, the mechanism is very straightforward. Men consume exploitative female content, develop that dopamine downregulation and disordered mating expectations, right? It does affect your brain this way. This literally changes your structure. Both of those make them less competitive in the actual dating market, what you actually want, like a wife. The free product they push, you know, does not make you more valuable in the eyes of the women that you actually want to attract. It makes you less valuable in the eyes of your future wife. She's not going to think, oh my God, I'm so glad he's consumed hedonistic material, ultimately from the hand of some of the creators that he fawns over, that broccoli-haired twit, Jack Doherty, I think his name is. Less competitive men consume more content. They follow more gurus, right? And they buy more into this pseudo-life fantasy.
Point number 2. How many confident men are in the chats of Manosphere live stream videos and videos, the standalone videos? How many would you think? You cannot make money with the cure. Here's the best example to think about. I'm your personal trainer. I'm not going to make a lot of money off you if I get you in shape in 6 weeks. It's the same thing. Here is what I know for a fact. Back in said Black Manosphere days, this is how they built their channels and the algorithm. They would bring up some delusional ass woman and 4 or 5 would argue with them and the cash apps would go crazy. The super chats would go crazy. Anybody that was around knows that. That was the red meat of a damn live stream.
Competitive men consume more content. They follow more gurus, right? And they buy more into this pseudo-life fantasy. The weaker you become, the more you spend. The industry does not profit from your strength. Remember, it profits from your collapse. This is where the most, the Manosphere's most prominent figures sell the fantasy first, and then the discipline as a kind of like under the table thing, if at all, by the way, because a man who learns to genuinely control stops consuming. A man who learns to compete in the real dating market stops scrolling. A man who develops his own taste, his own life, stops buying in, access into somebody else's. The actual improvement you make is a unit of the revenue lost to the machine. This works because the men running it, of course, are biologically selected for it. Of course they are. They have those dark triad traits which are intriguing and very marketable. The psychopathy, the narcissism, the low compassion for human beings. But think about that, really. Psychopathy, narcissism, low compassion for human beings. Those virtuous traits that your son or daughter would value in a father, that your wife would value in a husband, that greater society would value if we're going to stop all this petty religious psychological warfare.
Does the top guys in the Manosphere, Coach Greg Adams, Rolo, Tate, Kevin Samuels still making videos. Hell, he been dead a few years, but go to his channel, they still popping out there. What? Do they suffer from the dark triad? Psychopathy, narcissism, lack of empathy? Why, hell yeah. Hell yeah. How many times he told you you wasn't shit to your face and you paid him?
You stupid.
How many times he called you? Y'all broke.
Oh my God.
How many times did they tell you how much they paid to go here and how much this costs? And you love it.
2 + 2 is 4. -1, that's 3. Quick maths.
The men who reach the top of this industry are the same men temperamentally suited to extracting from it. The two are the same set. Yeah. I mean, this is a really interesting area to kind of muse over objectively because I understand the allure. I understand the allure of being a very, very competent individual, scarily competent, to the point where, you're 0.01% in your particular industry. You're one of a kind, you're rare, you're dangerous. And a lot of the men hearing those words gravitate to that. Even I, as I'm saying this, I'm getting goosebumps. Oh, I want to be that dangerous. I want to be that one of a kind being.
I can absolutely dig it. We're making this content. You want to be the best. You want the most subscribers. Hell, I do too. Hell, I want to, look at my chat and thousands of people. I'm sure that feels good. I'm sure it feels good. We didn't start making all this content, hundreds and thousands of videos for nobody to damn watch them. So I truly understand the allure. But what he's saying and what I absolutely agree with, those that probably are most successful have the dark triad. Mr. Beast is the best example of someone that possesses the dark triad. Mr. Beast is a fucking psychopath. Mr. Beast is narcissistic. Mr. Beast has low empathy. He is a soulless piece of shit and the #1 YouTuber. It's not a coincidence. Let's let this brother continue.
Just don't get lost to the idea of things, man. That's one thing I will say. Do not get lost into the idea of things, because on the surface these things seem shiny, but there's no depth, there's no substance to, there's a void, a black hole underneath them. Maybe you're listening to this and you were born with those traits, by the way, because they're real, they're out there, psychopathy, narcissism, and you can't help it. Maybe that's your karma, maybe that's the cards you've been given, the dice you've got to roll, but percentage-wise, it's more likely that you are a compassionate and empathic human being listening to this video, and you're finding the very idea of stepping on your fellow brother to advance your own cause pretty repugnant, disloyal and unbecoming of the greatest version of yourself, I will say. I mean, think about this. They are not misogynists who happen to harm men. They are misandrists who use misogyny as a kind of delivery mechanism. The harm to women is equally real. I'm not going to go into a diatribe about this because anybody with a 3-digit IQ can click on a video from one of your fellow fresh and fit creators and understand that these individuals are low IQ, they're delusional, they're hypocritical, and they have a net negative impact on all men and greater society.
Great example. Fresh and Fit's whole claim to fame was bringing on whores that do not represent the average woman, the average working woman, your daughter, your cousin, your auntie, your aunt, your mother. Brought on whores, and thousands of weak men cheered for it. You made them rich. You know good and damn well that's not the average woman, the women that was on Fresh and Fit. You know good and damn well that Kevin Samuels selected exactly who he wanted to bring up, who had the most outrageous, outlandish wants, wishes, and also needs to critique them and make fools of you, taking your money, enriching themselves, and then talk down to you in the process. What kind of man does that? And you have the nerve to call it a manosphere? No. Men don't do that. Men don't stay around where he's not welcomed. Men not going to let people just talk down on him and he just sit there and take it. Men do not donate to their own damn demise.
I'm sorry, I had to say it. You have to exercise critical thought here, gentlemen. I get it. I feel the pull, the cars, the attention, the head turn effect is real. The fantasy of driving around in something loud and aesthetically pleasing with somebody equally loud and aesthetically pleasing in the passenger seat who serves as mere visual candy, right? And this is the real funny thing. The only people that you're really impressing are uninformed 14-year-old boys. That's no grown man who respects you would actually be interested in those kinds of things. They don't respect that. They don't respect cheap thrills.
I don't respect you. Your out of shape ass with that hot ass chick because you got a nice car, she's gonna cheat on you, man. You don't make a kitty go prow. That is the meat potatoes of the video. The link is in the description, and I wholeheartedly agree. Now, here's another disclaimer. There are a lot of good men that's circling around said manosphere that actually has best work practices, that want to link up with others to build a community, that has no problem respecting women, getting along with them, even though the dating and relationship market is pretty much toxic on both ends. But the great Napoleon Hill via Earl Nightingale, who was deemed the dean of personal development, once said, you don't get what you want in this world, you get what you are. You are a piece of ish. You a weak man, so why would you think you deserve that feminine, submissive woman? It's not going to happen. And if you do get her, you're not going to keep her. So I absolutely agree with masculine theory that the manosphere, this new age of a manosphere, has more in common and push misandry, where constantly they're talking down on another man, critiquing another man, breaking him down. You watch any live stream from a Manosphere content creator, he's going to tell everybody else how they're broke, they don't have this. You can hear the psychopathy, you can hear the narcissism, you can hear the lack of empathy for another man that may be struggling or coming through a heartache, Why you married? Don't deal with no woman with kids. These are the same baby daddies that is giving you this bullshit and created said baby mamas. But God forbid if you happen to love and cherish a damn woman that may have a damn kid. In the words of Usher, that's what that kitty is made for. It was made for penetration and delivery of said babies. So remember these two things before I stop this video. Number one, I absolutely agree with the video from Masculine Theory that the Manosphere hates men because either you hate or love. There's no in between. I absolutely agree with Masculine Theory, the ones at the top. That's a full-time content creator in said Manosphere. They exhibit, display, and put on every day the dark triad. They are sociopaths, they are narcissists, and my favorite, they have a lack of empathy and they show it to you. I absolutely agree with Masculine Theory that it can only be energized and monetized by weak men that are suffering from lust. A lot of them whacking off all the time, depleted. The so-called high-value man is upset because Keisha, Renee, I got you, she's a white girl, Kim Song Lao, and Guadalupe are not sexually attracted to them just because you make $80,000 and you got a overpriced used Mercedes-Benz. She'd much rather have Hakeem, Larry, or Frederico, who pops up with a six-pack of Modelo, one blunt, lights the blunt up, passes around, everybody feeling good. Everybody knows all six of those Modelos from him, and he leaves with Maria, and everybody hating on him, sorry. That is the game. The Manosphere absolutely hates men. Ladies, you have nothing to worry about. They will destroy themselves through the acts of misandry that they exhibit, perform, and enact on each other every episode of their live streams or videos. They're going to infight about politics. They're going to infight about everything, but you will not find a channel with somebody giving you step-by-step best work practices. You will not find a channel where they're trying to come together and build something. It's all about showing off, you know, their little conclaves and look at me in my suit. I got my suit on. Look at how you dress. Things of that nature. And number two, you just been on project expertise. Well, I'm the project. I gave you the expertise, and the expertise is be your own man. Become the best version of yourself, which may mean you have to be lonely, do some study. Everything is in a book. Be careful of the gurus that you subscribe to and believe in. And if they want money and joining a membership about talking about what the hell Keisha doing, run for it. You know the YouTube etiquette. Like, share, search. Oh, you gonna be talking about the Manosphere? Well, hit the thumb down button. I do not care. But like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, or the notification bell just might hit you. Thank me for this later. And may the ghost of Kevin Samuels put coal in your stocking for Christmas, because he did not put any game in your brain on how to thrive and survive this new dating market. I'm sorry, if you don't make a kitty wet, it's gonna be rough for you, sir.